What is up, everybody? It's Speed here, and today we are here with the top 5 hero combos in Dota. And the reason why I want to make this video is, I know a lot of you guys are thinking right now, you're like, oh, Speed, is this just another video talking about, laning combos? Absolutely not. I'm actually more interested in today in beginning a series where I sort of talk about hero synergies, sort of heroes that work well together in the grand scheme of Dota. Whether or not you're drafting or you see a certain hero get picked in a pub and you want to synergize with it or try to align your timings and things like this, this series, right, the hero combos that I'm going to be talking about are extremely good at that, right? I'm going to be giving you 5 in total for this video of top meta heroes, right? I specifically picked heroes I think are good right now so that you can stick to the meta and pick heroes that are quite viable as well as combos that are viable. And yeah, this should help you out a lot within your pubs, especially if you're looking for combos to try out with your friends. And if you're excited for this series and you want to see more of this, as per usual, like the video to not only do that, right, let me know that you want to see more of this series, but also to help out your boy Speed in growing the gameleap channel. Our growth has been incredible lately, guys. I'm not even kidding. I think it's been like a couple hundred subscribers today, which is incredible. It's so awesome. And we're almost to the 200,000 mark, which I'm super excited for. I'm going to do something special then, probably ask you guys even what you want to see, like what video would you guys want to see, because the more community engagement, the better, obviously. And on top of the content you're going to be seeing today, I recently talked about Necro. I played a Necro game where live, I talked about all of my thoughts and really everything that came to mind. It was a very funny match as they basically gave up early on. But what I discussed was how to crush the early game, how to really dominate your laning stage and not just go even. Because a lot of people think they're winning. They think they're doing okay. But at the end of the day, they're not really doing that well. So if you're interested in seeing that video, click the link down below to the gameleap website. It's over there. I've also made some other videos such as a live Legion game. I've even talked about Tidehunter recently, updating his course. We even have an updated Legion course now. And so there's so many things to check out on the gameleap website. Super cheap. A lot of time on our hands, I'm sure, right now because of the quarantine that I am also going through. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. All right, so let's get into the first combo. And this is what I like to call the liquid combo. If you guys know the liquid team right now, it is comprised of Sanya, Koifa, Mickey, Boxy, and Taiga. And this is what I call the team liquid combo because if you watch them and you click in their recent games, they pick this combo all the time. Now, I'm going to be real. They haven't won every single game with it. It's not been unbelievably successful, but I really love the synergy between Grimstroke and Rubik as a hero duo. The reason is, well, actually there's a lot of reasons. Number one is I think that the overall combined magical damage that these heroes present in teamfights surpasses that of a lot of heroes in Dota. On top of it, you have this really nice core duo of supports that either can play high tempo, right, because they don't have any long cooldown spells, absolutely zero, they have no cooldown spells at all, so you can fight all the time if needed, you can smoke gank effectively, you have a silence, a stun, well actually 2 stuns, 2 nukes, and a lot of damage. Or, let's say you have an Alchemist and a Medusa on your team. Let's say this is a pub, or you're even playing with your friends, and one of your friends wants to play PA, and one of your friends wants to play, oh, I don't know, Terrorblade, and you have to make a lot of space for them. Well, you actually don't have to gank anyone with these two heroes. All you have to do is Fade Bolt and Stroke of Fate waves. You have 2 of the best wave clear abilities in Dota, and if you use them together at any tower, you instantly kill a creep wave as long as the spells are high enough levels. And what this means is basically pushing into Rubik and Grimstroke is almost impossible, because if you dive them, you're gonna get lifted, you're gonna get not only lifted, you're going to get linked and then lifted, which was actually gonna be my next point, but I'll mention it now. You're gonna get linked, right, Grimstroke ultied, into a lift, into a double Fade Bolt, into a double silence, and all of a sudden 2 heroes are basically useless. Not only does their damage get completely reduced, absolutely destroyed, but also their silence, their link, they can't run away, and they're probably diving because they're super frustrated that they can't take the tower. So yeah, I think this combo is amazing in teamfights. It really makes it hard for people to fight, especially if they're squishy. If you don't have a pipe against these 2 heroes and you walk into the fight, you're gonna get double nuked and lose around 600 HP for absolutely zero committal. And so yeah, if you're looking to pair with one of your support friends, because I know when I was actually much lower MMR or when I was joining teams, I would always try to look to, and when I was a 5 player, I used to play a lot of 5, I would look for a 4 player who would want to synergize with me and synergize picks with me, and I think this is really cool to do if you happen to have that other support friend, like I know a lot of you do. Alright, next up let's get into Beastmaster and Nature's Prophet as our second combo. Now recently, and the reason why I was inspired to actually talk about this combo was a game between Nigma and OG. Now OG did end up winning this game, and it might sound weird that, you know, I'm picking this. However, I do think that their combo was absolutely countered. OG had Brewmaster to clear all of the summons. They had a Caudill to actually destroy the right-click damage between the Beastmaster and the Nature's Prophet, as well as the Caudill ulti, and they had a Lycan and a Ember as the other two heroes who were very hard for Nature's Prophet to actually deal with, as they're extremely mobile. So overall, I think if this combo is picked into a lot less mobile heroes and a lot less wave clear or clear in general, it is absolutely potent. And the reason why I say this is, even though OG ended the game with 38 kills to 11, the match was very close for a long time, especially considering the fact that Mind Control and the Beastmaster did not have that good of a lane. In fact, his lane was terrible. It was terrible. If you watch the game, in fact, I made a Brewmaster replay talking about it. I actually looked at the Seb replay. Maybe that video is even out by now and you guys have seen it. He got destroyed. However, even though he got destroyed, he still got levels, right? And that's generally all you need on Beastmaster. He got his levels up. Then, for literally a minute, less than a minute, the Brewmaster left the Beastmaster lane. So then, the Nature's Prophet TP'd in and they shredded the tier 1 tower. Instantly gone. Literally, the tier 1 tower was instantly gone. There was no time to react. You're going to see a clip of it on the screen either now or before, and it's incredible. It's one of those things where I think this combo is not only good for pushing, but also good for pickoffs. Like, think about it. If you set up the Beastmaster top lane, you can easily send out a Hawk to scout out the outpost, the nearby area, or you can send treants all throughout the jungle to see if people are coming. Then, if someone is coming and it happens to be, oh, I don't know, an Ember Spirit who is under farm, or let's say a Slark who doesn't see you, who doesn't realize that he's going to get roared, you TP in, you roar him up, and all of a sudden they're absolutely dead. Because you're going to be synergizing your items as well, right? Beastmaster's going to buy a Vlad's, he might buy a Helm of the Dominator, he might buy a Medallion into Solar Crest, all of these items that amplify the physical damage of the Nature's Prophet. And on top of that, Miracle on his Nature's Prophet not only bought drums to help out with this, but also had a Desolator. And you can see how well this would work together. And they actually did end up trying this pick off, but unfortunately OG was really far ahead, and Sumail synergized his items to counter this. He bought a phase boots for the armor and an urn, right? He bought a vessel and a bunch of stats, so he was giga tanky, didn't end up dying, but it was super close. And I guarantee if you try this in your pubs, you're going to be able to kill 95% of targets with the roar and the teleport combo. And the last thing I want to say, because I don't know if I made this clear, I generally recommend having the Nature's Prophet and the Beastmaster both as cores. You actually can run Beastmaster as a position 4 and then make the Nature's Prophet position 3. It's not that bad of a lane. In fact, it's pretty strong. You just have the Beastmaster frontline, he can buy an Orb of Venom, and you just right click people down. It's not too bad, but I generally recommend you have the Prophet as either a mid, Beastmaster is mid, so that you have, one of them in the offlane and then one of them as a core, or even like a Nature's Prophet core, like Nigma did that game. Next up, let's talk about Caudill Bristleback, a staple of Dota 2. I mean this, I feel like this has been a combo for a very long time, but currently, I think these are two of the best heroes in Dota. I'm super serious. I currently think Caudill is the most popular 5 in the pro Dota scene. I'm looking through the matches just to get some research done for this video, and all I'm seeing is Caudill, 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 Caudill. No-Tail's picking Caudill. I think Liquid picked Caudill and they won with it. I believe Nigma was picking Caudill. I think EG was picking Caudill. Na'Vi was picking it. Unless I'm making a mistake, all these teams are picking Caudill. And the reason is because I think his laning stage is pretty reliable. You buy Headdress, you sustain yourself, you Blinding Light, and then his team fight is great. It's just that simple. Its team fighting is fantastic. And I almost forgot to mention, Chakra Magic is a really, really good spell as long as you pair it with a hero that is even decent. On top of that, just being able to give out mana right now, I just feel like it really pairs well with the high tempo team comps we're seeing. I mean, if you've watched Nigma as of late, they're picking all these high tempo heroes, and you're often going to run out of mana, but if you have a Caudill, that's absolutely no problem, so it solves that entirely. And just think about Bristleback in this hero combo as a pair. Bristle wants to play very high tempo once he gets a few items, but he has this problem where he runs out of mana. It's a notorious Bristleback problem. It's why you have to typically buy Soul Ring and a Wand and Raindrops and Clarities, and maybe take your mana talent. But with the Caudill, you don't have to do any of this, and you can itemize actually completely different. You can buy Treads, and then a Wand, and then a Bracer, and then a Hood, and you don't need that many mana items, right? Obviously, you're going to still have Tread swapping, and the Wand. These are just standard Bristle items, but you can build a little bit more tank, even go maybe even more physical damage into an early, maybe Medallion, something like this, and just chunk them down. And finally, the most important part to this combo is the laning stage. At level 2, I think this lane is almost impossible to man up to for the majority of heroes, especially if you find a 2v1 scenario. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say Bristleback and the Caudill, get off a pole, so they're currently pulling. And some Rubik, he just wants to walk over and contest a pole and get XP. Well, if you goo him up with your level 2 goo, which you guys better be taking, I swear. If you take his passive at level 3, oh my god, I hate you. You take level 2 goo, right? Goo at level 2, you spike them up, and you just run them down. If they try to get away, you blinding light them back, and there's absolutely nowhere they can run. And then of course, all in all, you're gonna be able to reset his quills, and that's how Chakra Magic works. When you cast it on someone, it resets their cooldown, it gives them mana, and because of this, you get 2 quills off in half the time. If you're good at it, you just have to time it and synergize with your, Caudill. That's it. And people die because you reduce their armor with goo, and then you quill them like 18 times with infinite mana, and it's almost impossible to do it. It's GG. It's just GG. And finally, the last thing I want to say is that yes, Caudill's ultimate works very well with Bristle if, multiple people group up on the Bristle, which often they will do to try to kill him because it requires 3 to 4 heroes to try to kill him. You ulti or you blinding light, and you're gonna save him. Next up is Oracle and Death Prophet, and I just think this hero makes a ton of sense. This hero combo as a whole was even getting banned out. I recently watched the Liquid between Secret series, and it was something that got banned out. So Liquid ended up picking the Death Prophet first phase, and Team Secret then following it with their one ban they get in the second phase. The one ban they get banned out Oracle. That's how potent of a combo this is if you get it. And the reason is, well, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you keep Death Prophet alive. That's about it. You keep her alive. Think about it. What is Death Prophet's biggest weakness in the majority of games? Getting bursted, specifically by magical damage, as it's a bit awkward to buy a BKB too early, and buying a Hood of Defiance, while it can be okay, feels a bit clunky as it doesn't really give you mana regen or proper stats. It's not bad by any means though. And because of this, let's say you know that your Death Prophet is getting X'd into, torrented into boat. All you then have to do is put your W on him. That's it. And what the W is of Oracle is it's called Fate's Edict, and it gives people 100% magical damage resistance. So basically, whenever you have this combo, all you have to do is Fate's Edict the Death Prophet anytime they're trying to kill her with magical damage, which is going to be very often. And then, if she drops low for whatever reason, you False Promise, and Death Prophet Giga heals. Literally Giga heals, because your healing gets doubled, right? All healing is doubled. So you get double healing from Spirit Siphon, you get double healing from your ultimate when it ends, and of course, then finally you get healing from the Oracle. You're gonna get Earned, you're gonna get Salved and Purifying Flame, whatever they have. And so yeah, overall I just think this combo makes a lot of sense. Oracle can even provide a little bit of control at the end of the day, right? DP can lack some control, Oracle can provide that. They kind of go hand in hand. And last but certainly not least, we have Medusa and Mars. Now, this was a combo I recently saw in a match between Na'Vi and Team Unique in the recent Los Angeles ESO1 tournament. And I really liked it. I just think this combo makes a lot of sense. They picked it between Magical, the mid laner, and Nine Pasha, the off laner, and it did extremely well. They ended winning up the match in 30 minutes in a score of 30-8. And what was notable to me is that these heroes just synergized. Their item timing synergized, their items synergized, and I even think their spell kits synergize. So let's think about it. Number one, you have the Mars who is going to buy the Vlads and the Pipe, which buffs up the Medusa. And typically when you have Medusa, you want heroes that provide these type of items for her. You want the Solar Crests, you want the Crimson, the Vlads, maybe even the Helm Dom, these type of items to buff up the Medusa, and Mars is the perfect candidate for doing that. Number two, when you pick Medusa, you need control. In this game, they picked Ember to help with the control, they had a Rubik and a Caudill, which is not bad, and then finally, to top it off, they have the Arena of Mars and obviously the Spear of Mars with that. And moving on, let's say the enemy team tries to counter the Medusa with a very old counterpick Medusa Sniper. All of a sudden, you have this counterpick of the Mars where he puts up his shield, right? He goes in the Bulwark mode and starts soaking all the right clicks. Now, that might sound weird, but I genuinely mean this because a few ranged heroes in Dota, such as Drow and the Sniper, maybe even OD, can actually do pretty well against the Medusa. And even heroes like, let's say, PL and Animage, Mars can be quite good against them due to the fact that his W helps get them off her, right? His Spear of Mars can help deal with the illusions. And on top of that, you put up this Mars arena, right? The Blood Arena, and all of a sudden, they get trapped. It's literally GG, because typically when you get arena'd, what do you have to do? You sort of have to man up because you can't run away. It's not gonna work. You can't run away from the arena. And therefore, you're gonna man up. However, if a stone gaze is coming, do you either turn around and run into the Mars walls, right? Do you just run into the wall, or do you turn into the stone gaze? You don't really have a good option, do you? Absolutely not. And these heroes are unbelievably tanky on top of that. So I feel like it creates this really cool situation where it's super hard to man up. The only weakness I could see about this draft is, or this combo, is that let's say they don't have the Arena of Mars up, they're gonna be a little bit low tempo or slow tempo without the Arena early game. But once you get into that mid-late game stage, I think you're gonna absolutely dominate every single team fight with your 2 ultimates. And yeah, for that reason, we're going to end the video there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to see more videos of this series, please let me know in the comment section down below, as well as liking the video. And I'll see you in the next one, baby. Peace. And hey guys, remember, before you end this video, in the link down below, I've been playing a lot of live games where I talk about my thoughts in real time in the middle of a Dota match. So if you want to get in the head of a pro player, click the link down below to the gameleap website. Super cheap right now, right? And I'm doing this a ton. We all have time on our hands. I have time to make content. You guys probably have time to enjoy and learn Dota, get better at the game. So yeah, if that combo works for you, click the link down below, and I'll see you there.